this is Trisha and welcome to my channel. So last Tuesday I showed you how I made this little macrame pot hanger, and I had some leftover macrame cord, so I wanted to do something with that. So today I'm going to show you how I put together this cute little macrame cord basket. Now during the video, please excuse my nails. I've been working out in the garden using my bare hands, so I didn't pay attention to them. All I wanted to know was that they were clean, but they look like Cookie Monster had a little bit of a snack on them. Anyway, here are the supplies so we can get to crafting. Okay, so here are the supplies that I'm going to use to create my basket. This is the leftover macrame that I had from last week. It is not enough to make another hanging basket, but I wanted to do something with it that I felt would be something useful, so I think a basket would be good. Now ideally I would like a thicker cord or rope to create a basket that will stand, but this will be a soft one, and we're just going to see how that's going to work out. So obviously if you're watching this video, the whole thing worked out. Okay, these are also leftover pieces that I have, and I want to go ahead and use them, these smaller ones as well. We're going to find a way to use them in our basket. The only thing that I'm going to use to put it all together is my hot glue gun. I won't be doing any sewing or any type of crocheting to put it together. I'm just going to be using some scissors wherever I need to cut, and I'll do some measuring just so that you see what size my basket is turning out to be. And of course I've got some extra glue sticks in my little cup here. So I think we need to get to crafting. Alright, so before I start creating my basket, because I have all these pieces, some of the ends are starting to get a little bit ratty. So what we can do is we can either trim off the rattier parts that obviously we cannot fix and it won't look nice. So we're going to trim some of it off, and then we're going to take our hot glue gun and get in there between the little strands and add some glue, and then just kind of roll it back, press it, and just close them up like that. So we're going to do that to all of them. So here we go. We've already got two nice edges, so I want to do that to the rest of my strings. Some of them are okay on one end, so they just need a little bit of glue, but then the other end is a little bit ratty, so we'll fix that up. Alright, so I have finished doing all the macrame pieces. These are the longer bits that I had left over, so these are the ones that I've gone ahead and I fixed the ends to it. I still have quite a few short ones, but I'm going to find a way to use these as well. So let's begin to build our little basket. So I'm going to begin by coiling the end as tight as I can here on this one. Just bring it together, and in order to keep it together I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue, and I'll be adding glue as I go along. So just form your first little tight bend there, and then you're just going to coil as you go along, adding a little bit of glue and just turning it as you go. Alright, so I've got my little center here started, and I'm just going to continue, like I said, just keep adding glue and just keep rotating it around until you have formed yourself a base. Okay, so I'm coming almost to the end of this first bit. Now I had 8 pieces, and this is only one that I'm using. Now, of course, you may be starting off with a fresh roll of macrame, so you're just going to keep building this until you've reached your desired size with your one piece, or one consistent piece. But I'm piecing these pieces together, so I'm going to finish up right here. And of course, now I'm working on the table here rather than holding it up. I mean, I could hold it up and, you know, continue gluing and adding this on here, but what's nice about having it flat on something is that you can just flatten it like that, and always make sure that you have them sticking on the sides rather than sticking like on top. Okay, so this is what you want. Look at that. That looks really good. Okay, so now I want to continue with my next piece. So all I'm going to do is put some glue on the little end here, and of course a little bit of glue on the side of this other little rope here. And I'm just going to continue. I'm just going to butt these two ends together like so. Butt them as nicely as you can without actually like really pushing them together. And then just continue. Okay, so just to give you an idea about how much rope I have already used, these bits that I have here, they're about 1 yard in length. I have it folded up right here, but they're about 1 yard in length, and I've already coiled up 2 of them, so that's 2 yards. I'm starting on a third one, but if I don't count the third one and I just count where I ended with the second one, which is right here to this point, that is about 5 inches in diameter. Okay, so far I've got a 5-inch diameter base. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this one and see where that will end me, and then I'm going to go ahead and start building up the sides of my basket. So that would make it 3 yards right here. So that just gives you an idea how much is going into my base for the size of basket that I'm creating. Okay, so here I have 3 yards of macrame cord, and I've got a 6-inch diameter base. I still have to finish gluing this end here, but before I get started, I wanted to go ahead and measure what I had on this spool. So I've gone ahead and I've done that, and I have about 11 yards here. And like I said, each of these pieces is about 1 yard long, and I've got 5 of them. So here's 5 yards and 11, so I've got 16 yards plus the 3 here, so I have 19 yards. So we're going to see what that builds us. Now let's keep in mind I still have these little pieces here, so if you have about 20 yards, you'll probably be able to build this little basket that I'm doing. But we're going to see what this will do for us, but I'm going to start off with these scraps first. Now I'm going to go ahead and save one for the very end because I want to do something on the edge of the basket, on the top edge of the rim. So I'm going to save one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and get these 4 plus this, so I've got 15 yards to work with to try to build something upward. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish gluing this around the edge here, so let's move these out of the way so they're not distracting. Let's get that right there. And I'm going to finish gluing this on the edge here. Now, before I finish off this little end, because I want to have like a little smooth, you know, around, you know, the bottom part, I'm going to bring the end here, just like about 1/2 inch of it, onto this other cord that's on this outer edge here. So I'm just going to start building it upward. I'm just going to see how close I can get it here. And then along the edge here of this other one. So I'm just going to bring it up on top of there, okay? That way I can kind of have like a little clean edge right here. But I'm going to bring it right on top of it. I don't want to bring it in across like that, just right along this top one. And then right there I'm going to add a little bit of glue. And now instead of putting glue on the edge of the cord, I'm going to put glue on the very top of the very last cord. So like I said, I'm going to save one of these, and I'm going to start with these bits that I had left over. I want to use them. So a little bit of glue on that little end there, and then a little bit of glue on the top. We're just going to get it started first. So butt these together as nicely as you can. Okay, so that's what we're going to start doing. Bring this up here so you can see right here, and then we're just going to be putting glue on the very top edge of this last one here, of their very end one, and then start putting this on top so we can start building the little walls on the side. Okay, so we're coming to the end where I brought this edge here up. So all I'm going to do is just continue on it and then go right over where I seam these 2 ends together and start building a 3rd line here for our wall. So here I've got 2 already, as you can see right there. So I'm going to start building a 3rd one. And I'm going to continue doing that until I've reached the height that I like. Okay, so here we go. Also, I may start going a little bit wider outward. I don't know right now. I don't know that I want a straight up one, or maybe going out a little bit. But you do want to be careful that you're not putting the glue Let me finish this little end here. You want to be careful that you're not putting the glue on the inside, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up leading your rope inward. So that's what's happening. It's going to start closing up. Now, if you want that design where it goes inward, then go for it. But for now, we're going to just nicely have a nice little, as straight as we can, or even as we can, wall going up. And then we'll work from there, see if we want to go outward a little bit. Okay, so another thing I wanted to point out is that just so that we know what size cord this is, a 4 millimeter cord, by the way. This is what I'm using here, macrame cord. This is 100% cotton, and I purchased mine at Hobby Lobby, I believe, just so I wanted to give you those little details, because I'm giving you sizes, but of course the sizes and the amount of yardage or footage that you're going to use, or centimeters that you're going to use for your basket, are also going to depend on how wide your rope or cord is. So just so that you know what I'm working with, this is a 4 millimeter macrame 100% cotton cord. Okay, so I wanted to show you something. I have got here where now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So that means right here, once I start keep going, that means I'm now forming 6 rows. So right about here is where I'm going to decide to just start going out a little bit further outward. Another thing you want to make sure is that every time you're doing this is that you're spreading it out, because in some parts for me it started going inward right here. This little wall here wants to go in, so it gets pulled. So I'm just going to start building outward. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I just want to make my fifth row, if you will, like that. And right here is where it starts to become 6. So I'm going to go outward just a little bit. So putting the glue on the, still on top, but on the outer edge of the top cord here, so that I can start leading this one outward a little bit, so I can open up my basket just a little bit. So I'll continue, see how much taller I can get it. I've still got this piece to finish, and then 2 more yards. So then I'm going to start off with my 11 yards that I had over here. Okay, and I still got this 1 yard over here that I decided I'm going to save for the end, along with those small cords. Okay, I do want to point out that this actually makes a nice little, a small little basket that you could put like some little trinkets, maybe your rings or something like that, your watch, some change in there. Put it on your desk there, or your office desk, or at home where you have your, you know, your vanity. Put your little items in there. I think it would also be cute to put some soap in there in the bathroom, or some little shells. Look at that. Make a tiny little tray. It's really cute like that. Okay, I'm going to continue, because otherwise I won't stop with the ideas. Okay, so I'm finishing up with that 7th cord. So I've got 7 yards that I've been working with, and I just wanted to show you how that is looking. And as I said, it's going to be a soft basket. And you guys, working on this, you know, you sit here and just put on some music, or put on some show that you can listen to, maybe an audio book, because it's going to take you a little while to get maybe the size that you're going to want to put together. But this is very relaxing. I have found it very relaxing. I actually don't have any music or anything going, so it's actually giving me a lot of time to think of things, and I'm writing down some ideas, because this is giving me so many ideas of some other things that I want to do. So anyway, I'm finishing up here 7 yards. How tall is that? That's about 2 inches tall, and as we said, the bottom part was 6 inches diameter. I don't know why I said 5 inches earlier. It's supposed to be 6 inches. Yes, the bottom part is 6 inches, the base. And then of course I'm working my way out just a tiny bit more open. So here I am at 6.5 inches wide at the top. So I've just slowly worked my way to making it a little bit wider as I go. So I'm going to continue on with this rope, because like I said, I'm going to save this one for the very end to do something. And then of course I've got my little scraps that I want to create something. So I don't know yet. I know I want to put some little handles, but I think I want to do something a little more decorative to my basket. So I'm going to keep thinking, and I have an idea already, but I need to think about how I'm going to put it together for you guys. Okay, I'm going to continue. All right, everyone, I have worked my way up now to 2.5 inches, but I wanted to make sure, you know, how many rows do I actually have, and where is it that it becomes like another row? And I've found this spot right here. So here I've got 12 rows, and that's 2.5 inches so far. Let me check it one more time. Yeah, that's 2.5 inches right there. And then right here I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So then if I continue on, that becomes a 13th row. So if you want to keep track of where it is that you actually started, where it starts becoming another row, you know, and you don't want to have to keep counting, like, oh, let me make sure I have the same height here that I have over here. Just put a little pin in the area where it starts to climb up to become another row, and just mark it like that. That way when you decide that, okay, I want to stop, you know to stop at that point. Okay, I'm going to continue. I kind of want 5 inches in height. I don't know if I'll get that high. I don't know if this will be like too flimsy, too floppy, but it's holding up pretty nicely, and I think I can put lots of things in a basket even at this little height, but I kind of want to go a little bit more. So I'm going to keep going. Okay, so an update on my basket. Look at this. And again, this is where I started, so I know that this is where I'm going to end. But look at my little basket. Look how high it is. I was saying 5 inches. I've gone ahead and I've measured this. Let's see. And I'm at 4 inches, and I really like that. Now I want to finish it off with some handles. So instead of continuing some more, I want to add some handles to it. So I'm going to decide what part of my basket I think is the prettiest. This will be the front, and I kind of like this part right here. So I think I want to put my handles right here, which is right where this pin is. So the other opposite side would be where I would put some handles. I've also been working and with little bits of the leftover pieces that were little short pieces. And I've made these little tassels. So what I did is I took, let's see, let me grab a strand here. I took one of these, like these little shorter pieces, and they're kind of falling apart here. So I just went ahead and I untangled them to get, you know, those type of pieces like that. So you want to take it apart because it's in 3 strands. So then that, we're going to cut it into 6 inches, which I have here. I have a few of them already cut at 6 inches. See, can you see that right there? 6 inches right here. You can cut them whatever size you want, but that's what I cut. I cut them at 6 inches. And then what I do is I kind of unravel them as well a little bit. And you can just pull out, you know, 1 or 2 little strings off of that. So then you have that little string, and then you're going to take this part and you're going to fold it and take that little string and just wrap it around a couple of times, and then knot the ends. I'll tie them up. Make a little knot. So you can form the little tassels, and just bring those little ends of the string that you tied just downward. So then what you're going to do, I'm going to put them on here so I don't poke my table, because I'm going to use a little sharp, either little sharp tool, something that has, you know, a little fine edge to it, and then you're just going to kind of brush it out. You can use like a little comb or something as well. Just brush these out so you can untwirl them or untwine them, or, you know, just separate them, so that you can create the little tassels like this. And then from there you can trim them to whatever length you want. You don't want to make them all the same, so I'm just going to trim off a little bit, and there. And then of course I can also trim them once I've had them on my basket. Now I'm going to make, I've got 4 here, so my idea was, like, when I put my little handle, I could put a little tassel at the end of each, you know, the end of where the handle goes, you know, let me explain a little bit better. So this is my handle. So at the end of the handle, maybe this could be right there on each side, or I could make a whole bunch of them and put them all the way around. Kind of like the idea of making a whole bunch of them and putting them around. So I'm going to go ahead and work toward the next point where I'm actually adding the handles, and then I think I'm going to add a few of these. I don't know how many. I don't know that I'm going to put like one right next to each other or just kind of separate them a little bit, but I am going to make more of these. I'll see how many I can make, and then we'll see how it'll look on here, and then you can decide if you like the look or if you want to add more than what I did. Now I think that if you had macrame rope pieces left over, like in completely different colors, you could do that, do this, and just start with one color, add in the next one, and so forth, and just make it all really colorful, and don't worry about, you know, one rope piece being shorter than another, and you have like a really long, let's say you have some blue, yellow, and some red, and you have a big thick blue one, a thin yellow one, and then a, you know, whatever red you might have. It doesn't matter, just mix them up and make a cute little basket like that with different color macrame. Okay, so let's get to the handle. This is where I ended up, and I'm at 4 inches, and I was saying I want to do like 5 inches, but I'm really liking the 4 inches. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just make one more, just one more line around, and then I'm going to come back, but I'm going to stop a little bit short because then I want to do the handle. So let me get to that point and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've gone around one more time just to go ahead and finish it. I don't know why I felt that I needed to do that. 4 inches was fine, so I'm just a little rope over. So if you want to know how many lines of this 4mm rope is, it's about 21 rows. I just remembered, I counted them. There's 21 rows, and this is where it ended. So I can go ahead and cut my rope right here. I could go a little taller, and I will in a moment, but not too much taller. But I want to put some little handles in there first. So there we go, that's done. There's our little basket. Okay, so now I want some handles, and I still have a lot of this rope left over. I could have kept on going, but I decided I want to stop because I feel like any taller might make it a little too flop. Okay, let's put on some handles. Like I said, I had all these pieces that were left over, so I'm gonna make little handles on the side. I don't want them too big. Let's say about that big, and that is, and I'm going to give it a little slack, so I'm going to cut them about 7 inches. So whatever that one is, cut the other one. Okay, so I want to treat the little ends like I did the little ropes before I started, my little ends. So we're going to do that. Okay, so now all I'm doing is just trimming the little ends here so that they're nice and nicely finished, flat. Okay, so there I have my 2 pieces for my handles, and I want these to go about so wide. You can decide how wide you want them to go, and I'm going to go ahead and glue these right on the inside, glue the ends right in there like so. So I'm going to take it like that, put some glue right there, put down the first end, and then another bit over here. Let's see, so I can make sure that I make my other side pretty much the same. There's about a 3-inch difference right there. So I'm going to turn this around like that. See? So I can put it right in the same area. I'm going to start off with this side. Let's see, put it a little more there. Put some glue in there, put my little end in there, bring it around. About 3 inches right there. Put the glue and put this down. And we're going to let that dry really well, and then we're going to come back and work on the edge of our little basket. Okay, so before I add my little tassels, which by the way I have right here, I made 10 of them because I thought I'd do like 5 on one side and then 5 on the other. They'll be a little bit separated. Okay, so to lock in my little handles on here, I'm going to go ahead and put some rope, one more line of rope right over them. So it doesn't matter which way I start. I'll start right about right here. work my way over it. Make sure I lock that in. Okay, now I can go ahead and continue. And I want to go ahead and go over this one as well and do the same thing on the other side and come back around to this end and finish it off. Okay, so now that I've gone ahead and I've locked my little handles onto the edge of that, now I want to add my little tassels. I think that's pretty good. I could do another line, but I think that's good enough. Okay, so I'm going to put one tassel here. So let's put that little bit of glue there, and we want to capture that little knot where I tied it right on there. So we got this little part hanging on the inside, and we can just put a little bit of glue and push it down. Like so, and we'll continue doing that. I'm going to put one over here, and then I'm going to have, like I said, I'm going to have 5, so one here, and then the other 3 are going to center it somewhere. So I'm going to put one right in the middle, and then center and center. Okay. Let me put them on there first, and then I'll glue them to the inside. So about the center, about right here. I tried trimming them about the same length when I had them on here. When I have them on here, you're obviously not going to tell, you know, too much, but you can go ahead, especially if you put more, you can just go ahead and come around and just trim with your scissors. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry here before I attempt any trimming. So first I'm going to put these on here. Like this one's going to get centered between these two, and this one between those two. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. But look how cute that looks. I think that looks super cute. Okay, now I want to glue these down, but I'm going to wait till that dries. So let me go over to the other side and add the other 5. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue down these little bits, and then I'm going to take some more rope, and I'm going to start somewhere over here, and then go over to kind of lock them now in place. And then we have a nice little edge. Now I don't know if I'm just going to do 1 or maybe 2 lines of rope. So let me do 1, and I'll be back with that, and we'll see if we need to do another row. Okay, so we're coming to the end here, and I'm just going to cut it a little bit, just a tiny bit longer, and then I'm going to go in there, add some glue in there. Okay, now that I've got the glue in there, then I can see how my little bits are together. I can see how much I actually have to trim it at. So put plenty of glue right there, so you can fit this end right in there. And then just press down. Every time you're putting a line of this, press it down onto the other one. And now the only thing that I would do different, and that I should have probably told you at the very beginning, you might want to get hot glue sticks that are for fabric. They do sell some that are for fabric. You want to use those. I'm just using just regular hot glue. Now I've got some rope left over, but remember that at the beginning I had 8 pieces that were 1 yard each. So I'm going to use that piece now, and what I want to do is I want to put it on the inside. Now the more that I put up on the top, the heavier it obviously makes it. So you can make the executive decision that if you know these little bits in here, you don't mind the way they look, just leave them, or put a little lightweight ribbon. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this little rope and put it on the inside to kind of just over it like that, just to kind of hide that. So I'm just going to make like another row right on top of the very last one here. I'm just going to go in a little bit. You're still going to be able to see them a little bit, but maybe not so much. And we give this a nice little lip. And I probably should have sealed that little end, but I didn't. That's okay. We're just going to glue it down really well. Okay. Okay, everyone, I have added this little inside, so it kind of just hides a little bit of that. Also, when you do these little handles, maybe you don't want to go as far down as I did so that you don't see them. It's up to you. But here we go. Look at that. I love that. Just brush these out a little bit more if you want them shaggier. Maybe you want to put little beads on there. That would look so cute. Okay, but there we go. And I had a little bit left over, so I'm going to measure to see how much of this I had left over so that you'll know how much of the 11 yards and then how much it is all together. All right, everyone, here's my basket, all nice and complete. So let's recap what I used. I used a 4mm macrame cord. It is 100% cotton. You can use any size that you want to use. I would probably use a thicker one, and you could just use a rope if you want to create a basket to make it a little bit more firm. Now, I ended up using about 15 yards to create this. Now, that sounds like a lot, but as you saw, I used scraps, little pieces that were left over from another project. Now, if they were in different colors, this would look really cute, you know, winding it around, letting another color come in, and then just doing that. It would look really cute. Even adding some little beads onto the little tassels would be cute. So there we go. Just some great ideas. You can do it smaller. You can make it a little bit taller, maybe wider, and create like a little tray. But there we go. I think it came out really cute. I'm really proud of it, so I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up. Please hit that red subscription button and subscribe to my channel, and thank you to everyone who has been doing so. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. That little notification bell will notify you of when I upload my videos. Make sure you share on your social medias. Please be kind to each other, respect each other, and spread the love. And as always, enjoy.